into the latest trends in health, expert insights, and practical tips to help you live your healthiest and happiest life. Catch the Rhythm of Wellness with Vic Riches on Solutions Clinic every Monday from 10:15 a.m. to 11 a.m. on Solutions 93.9 as we journey into the world of nutrition, fitness, mental health, and other holistic apertures in the world of health. Don't miss out on the valuable information that can transform your well-being, because a healthy life is your ticket to a wealthy life.
Check your systems.
Keep it 93.9.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Listen, I don't lie to you. You know when I'm grieving. Don't lie to me. I know what you're feeling. Please talk to me. I know you know that you can be real. You can be real with me. I don't lie to you. You know when I'm grieving. Don't lie to me. I know what you're feeling. Please talk to me. I know you know that you can be real. You can be real with me. As long as you follow me, talk, I go read you. No matter how lost I go find you. No matter how far you go. You go. As long as you follow me, talk, I go read you. No matter how lost I go find you. No matter how far you go. Walking up to me, darling, let me see. Let me in, let me in, let me in, let me in. Won't you let me be everything you need? Let me in, let me in, let me in, let me in. Hold up, hold up, la la la. Hold up, hold up. Listen, exaggerated your picture of how bad you think you've been. Yes, I hate it, but I found a way. I'll never ever leave. My love is real. Don't ever doubt it. You can be real. You can be real with me. As long as you follow me, talk, I go read you. No matter how lost I go find you. No matter how far you go. You go. As long as you follow me, talk, I go read you. No matter how lost I go find you. No matter how far you go. Walking up to me, darling, let me see. Let me in, let me in, let me in, let me in. Won't you let me be everything you need? Let me in, let me in, let me in, let me in. Let me in, open up your heart. Let me in, 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 let me in,
Keep it 93.9.
My slice of heaven, my choice is gold. Until forever, your heart is home. If you bring the laughter, I'll share the jokes. I love you deeply, and heaven knows I will never trouble, I will always bring you peace. I can never cause you trouble. You're my lover, you're my lover. Kera keso, kera keso, kera keso, razuwangwatanao. Kera keso, masoyata. Kera keso, mekaunara yuata. Swim your rivers, we'll chase your storms. As long as we have us, we're never alone. You can have this lifetime and the next one too. If that's not enough for you, I'll fix that too. I will never cause you trouble. I will always bring you peace. I will never find another. You're my lover. You're my lover. Can I get some? Can I get some?
Kaineke Soul by Timmy Dakolo. Sounds really strange but beautiful seeing Timmy Dakolo sing in Hausa. Well, that's the song right here on the Remedy Dial Solutions 93.9. 22 minutes gone past the hour of 10. And it's about time to talk about our health. Welcome to Solutions Clinic, where we talk about everything and anything health. Good morning to you. My name is Vic Riches. All right, this morning we're going to be discussing eating disorder. That might come off really strange or unconventional to most people, as they wouldn't find that as a health challenge. But I guess we'll explore that to see if that is actually something to consider as a health challenge or not this morning. So eating disorders are complex mental health conditions characterized by unhealthy attitudes or behaviors surrounding food, weight, and body image. They can include anorexia nervosa, bulimia nervosa, binge eating disorder, and other specified feeding or eating disorders. These conditions often involve a preoccupation with food, severe disturbances in eating habit, and a distorted body image. They can have serious physical and emotional consequences and typically require professional treatment. According to the WHO, every 60 minutes at least one person dies as a result of eating disorder. Joining me this morning for this conversation is Dr. Chukwuma Okoli. Good morning to you, Doc. It's great to have you join us.
Thank you. Good morning.
Awesome. So I chose this topic basically because I saw a tweet that was quite terrifying. So someone said, and I quote, "My eating disorder is a stretch away from suicide."
What?
That's what she put out on social media a couple of days ago. So I was taken aback because I am one of those people who necessarily did not consider eating disorder as a thing. So I'm posing the question, is that actually something to be worried about?
Yes, it is. Absolutely. I'm actually worried right now. What is she up to?
I honestly do not know. And I mean, I was going over the comments and I saw that people were quite enlightened about it.
Yeah.
And they were asking her to seek professional help.
Yes. The question is, now you see, everything is on the mind. Okay? There's a reason why she had such a disorder. It's actually a mental disorder. And because it's a mental disorder, the mental is the mind. The mind is afflicted. And we don't know the exact one, but I'm most likely you see them having anorexia nervosa where they don't even want to eat at all. And that's why she's saying things like, a stretch away from suicide, because if she doesn't eat, she would, go down. And of course, she would die. It's crazy, actually, and it's very common now. I remember seeing a billboard posting body shaming, stuff, trying to talk against it. And I asked myself, why are people so concerned about their bodies? All you
Body
need is
positivity
to stay
now, that's what we see.
Just stay healthy. right? Stay healthy. The way you look is the way God created you. Why are people losing that knowledge of God? We are in Africa. Yeah, in Africa, we have the knowledge of God. We can't suddenly. I bet to say that the day we forget about God, that's the day we die as a country or continent. We are, yes, we are religious, environmental or country, as it were. Yes. So, why would you want to change how you look from the way the God who created you did? So it's a problem. Eating disorders are very, very present with us. You talked about the binge eating disorder. Now, you see, that's the commonest. People do that. It goes from craving to binge. From craving, you want a particular kind of food, and it goes from there to binge. Imagine somebody who eats, let me pick one, probably shawarma now, and say taking like 10 shawarmas in a day.
Is that even possible with this economy? But some people can afford it.
Now, things like this happen not in this economy. I'm sure.
No, it's very possible that some people can afford 10 shawarma. It's very possible.
Do you know how much that is?
I'm just saying.
Okay.
That's roughly 30 to 40,000.
Okay, now that's just a few, like probably 1-2% of the population. I'm just talking about something that is quite common to many people. Not in this part of the world, they can do that outside. But what we have around here is anorexia nervosa. And it starts with people having a mental picture of what they want to look like. People it starts with getting a big mirror. They buy a giant mirror that takes a picture of them from head to toe. I noticed at one point, X used to be like people would stay in front of the mirror and take a picture, and then I'll be like, you are in front of a mirror and you are still bringing out your phone.
No, that one is a thing, mirror selfie. They call it mirror.
Okay, agreed. What are you up to? Okay, now, you look at yourself in the mirror and the next thing you're like, you don't like the way you look. If you are on the big side and you want to trim down, do it on the basis of you want to be healthier. You want to reduce cholesterol. You want to be sportier. You want to be smarter. You want to be faster. Not because you want to have a body that looks like somebody else's. That's where the problem is. Maybe we should take it one by one.
Yes. Let's talk about, the 3 types that I mentioned. You mentioned binge, and you said anorexia is more common in this part of the world.
Yes.
But I'd like to differ a bit because I've seen some uncontrollable habituous eating by most people that I have stayed with. And we see content creators make kits like, so you buy a couple of things and you put in the fridge and you take one, and you're about to close the fridge, you feel the urge to take 2, you're thinking, and before long you just you finish everything. So is that not how it transitions into binge disorder, even without knowing?
Well, I agree with you. Binge is it's also common. It's just that when looking at the common man who says, hey, okay, based on the amount of money available for me, I think I'll rather forgo than.
Do you think people, if it's a disorder, does it come with you having that kind of discipline? I've been in that situation where I made a pot of rice. It was so good. So, I took the scoop that I was going to eat for dinner. And before you know what was happening, this was long ago, before anyone comes for me, I started eating from the pot. I would just go to the pot, I'll open the pot, and I'll take it. Wow. I just kept doing that. And I finished that pot of rice. Wow. That day. I can't remember how many cups, and this was quite a long time ago.
Now, here is it. This was a long time ago, and this hasn't happened in recent times, and it's not recurrent.
Yeah.
That's why I said the binge part is not a recurrent thing. That's why I started by saying, okay, now, tell me you can afford to take 10. Okay, you love shawarma so much that you want to eat like 10 of it in a day. And then you've been doing that for the past 3 months. Then I know you have binge eating disorder. It's not economical.
So it's excusable if it's done maybe once in a while?
Yes, yeah, of course. Why do people like us go to Mama's pot always when everybody's asleep, we go back? It's not because the food is sweet. My own is always soup. Soup. I'll just scoop and then sit down and be and then you just hear, you're not hungry, and it is soup. okay, let me give you a bar to go with it. No, 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 no.
You
The
just
soup
want the
is
soup.
fine.
Wow. With the meat now.
Obviously, of course. It has to be super meat. Everything has to go together. Okay, so now it's excusable if it's just occasional that such occurs, but not on a daily basis. Like this is habitual. Imagine you sit down and you down 4 5 pizza, and after when you are done, probably in the evening, you're asking for another set. Aha. But it's not common around here because those things are expensive. Shawarma is even cheaper than pizza. So
Actually.
try that now. Let's see. You chop like five pizza. Make it that cheesy one that has a lot of meat inside. You do like 5 of it. Please ask how much that is. Then you do another set in the evening. Let's know how much you have in your account before you can do all that binge. So what I'm saying is, it's excusable when you do things like this occasionally. Food sweet now, and then you give yourself a treat. It's just similar to say, take yourself out, lodge yourself in an exclusive, expensive hotel, and then have a good treat for the weekend. You did that this weekend. Next weekend you are back there again. No, now that's not what we're saying. So binge that's not binge. Binge thing is when this thing is recurrent.
Okay.
Like let me pick one particular addiction, cola nut. Yeah, and then you bought a sizable quantity that those women wrap or sell, and then you're done with it. Before you knew it, in fact, you didn't know how you got to the spot again. You bought another set, and you realize that this can go on. You can do that for like 4 or 5 times a day, and you've been doing that daily for like months. Aha, we know that's the binge. Now, the difference between it and the addiction is that in the case of addiction, when you don't eat it, you feel uncomfortable, you feel sick, and you have to take it to feel fine. Reverse psychology is now the case. So in the case of binge, it's food we're talking about now. Probably like I used to, the example of the shawarma or the pizza. It could be any other thing. It could be eggs. You know, someone would just sit down like 10 boiled
I've seen
eggs.
that.
Exactly. So now that's commoner in the Western world. But around here, what people basically, they want to have a particular type of body shape, and most of those, like I was telling someone yesterday, that the internet has become, everybody can have his own TV. Just do your YouTube, whatever, and then you have your channel, and then even you can even be Facebook stuff. Just go live, Instagram, go live, and just go live and continue doing broadcast or whatever you call it.
You have somebody you're influencing.
Exactly. You've already become a social media influencer. Good of you. Continue influencing. So most people just have a picture of who they want to look like, and probably that person is slim-fitted, the hourglass shape and all that, and then they feel the best way to do it is to starve themselves. So it becomes mental because they just have this natural compulsion to want to do it even against their health. Even against their health, even when they may have ulcers, when they may have other challenges, they just want to. That's the anorexia nervosa that comes with it.
So let's now talk about the implication, especially for anorexia, that is common with us. Because for most people, like I see on social media recently, people becoming advocates for fasting. I understand that has its benefits, but the motive behind the fasting is what I'm worried about.
Exactly.
Because you find that I saw a guy put out a tweet a couple of days ago, said he went for, I think, 48 hours or, no, not 48, I think 4 days actually, with just water, not even fruits, just water. Because he was trying to get a particular body fit for a movie.
Oh, for a movie?
Yes,
okay.
I can understand that.
Okay.
But he put out the reason, but some people will look at that, he achieved this body because he put out pictures of how he was and how he is right now. Someone will see that, with the motive of, I just want to achieve, not with any purpose at all, and jump on it.
Yeah.
So what are the health implications that you could get from that?
Thank you. Now, for such a person who put out such activity that he did, he told you he did it on water. Are you sure?
That's a good question.
Okay. He's a film star. Slightly, of course, he'll have a few coins in his pocket. Of course, he will have the services of a health professional nearby. Are you sure what he went through? Okay. My guy, Onokoya,
Jimmy.
Yeah, no, Tunde.
Okay.
The chess maestro went through food poisoning. Do you know what he went through? Do you know the people, the health professionals around him? Somebody even got a popular musician who went to see him. You know, on hearing that, had to quickly arrange people, professional medical experts around just to keep him fit to continue doing that stuff. They won't tell you all this. If not that Tunde mentioned it. Even we that were following the whole thing live, we knew he had some breaks. Do you know what he went through with the break?
Yeah.
And when Hilda was doing her cookathon, do you know what he went through? I was in the time that he was inside the place where they were doing the massage for her. Her legs and muscles were stiff. I mean, they won't tell you all these things, what they had to go through. The health procedures, maneuvers that they had to have in order to be able to achieve their feat. So you just wake up and decide someone did it and you wanted to. That's why people try to achieve a feat somebody else did and they end up killing themselves, because the person who put out the feat he achieved didn't give you the full detail of what he had to do, of the off-camera activities he had to go through. That's the point, and that's the danger of it, because serving yourself for 24 hours, even normal fasting 6 to 6 for those who do the Christian part, or even the Muslim that do the, I don't know how to put it, but very early in the morning, maybe midnight till 7. They will tell you how their body will be doing them by the time they're about to break the fast. It's not an easy thing. Then you do it for 24 hours on water, and you tell me you still stay strong. Tell me now. No, tell me. By the second day, you may not be able to get off the bed. And that's why you see how people suddenly kill themselves. Because they're trying to achieve something they didn't even bother to ask of the other part, the non-media part of the feat they want to achieve.
I'm sure someone is planning Fast-a-thon very soon. We might hear something like this. It's very, very possible. So
let me say this in pidgin. Nah, beg, be careful. Oh. If you try Fast-a-thon, you will kill yourself.
Oh my goodness.
You see, your liver will just pack up because you would have let out all the glucose that is available, nothing to gluconeogenesis again, and the thing will just pack up. Be careful. Oh. It's not like Fast-a-thon. Oh. Thank you.
But I mean, we've also heard that fasting is sort of beneficial to the health.
Yes, it is. Of course, periodic.
Okay.
Within specified hours. You see, that marathon thing is not advantageous. Because at some point, your vital organs need supplies. The brain, the heart, adrenal gland, and so on and so forth. They all need supplies. The lungs, they all need supplies. So when you run out of it, on a norm, some people, their system will just black out when the glucose level is low. You now say you want to sustain it for 24 hours. Some people will even sign, don't give me food. Even if I faint, don't give me food. Okay. Make sure you sign your will before you do such feats.
Oh, my God.
Yes, because all these procedures has a way of bringing the immune system down. And if one is not careful, one can be in a very serious position.
And it brings me back to conversations where people say, whenever they feel, that has never happened to me, because I think I'll talk about that, why that doesn't, because I eat a lot, to be fair. But people say things like, oh, they're hungry and they have headache. You talked about the brain. How does that happen? What's the relation?
Yes. When you're hungry, it's assumed your blood glucose level has dropped. So messages are sent to the brain to, turn your intestines to churn, to make you feel, hey, I think I need food. Now, the liver is the store. The liver still has enough to keep you going for some time.
Okay.
Yes. So, but when the level is going to a particular point, the negative signals going back to the brain will cause a headache. It causes your head to ache. To probably maybe you are busy working on something or you're just occupied. When the headache comes, you just realize, I think this hunger is getting to give me headache. And it doesn't happen just once.
Hunger is getting to my brain.
It doesn't happen just once. The person would have noticed, oh, last time I was hungry too, I had a very bad headache. After I ate, after some time, I felt better. So we merge those two together. Yes, they occur together. And then after feeding, after a while, the headache goes down. So it's part of the negative feedback that the body gets to warn us to eat. And then, what if there's no food? What if there is famine? What if you're in a situation whereby you are in a place, you are deserted, there's no food? That's when the body starts making use of the fats. After using up the fats, it uses up the muscles to stay alive. After using up the muscles, there's nothing else to be used. The person dies.
So someone can die from not eating?
Yes. That's starvation, yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, you're listening to Solutions Clinic this morning on the Remedy Dial Solutions 93.9 FM. I'm having a conversation with Dr. Chukwuma Okoli, and we're talking about eating disorder. I believe this has been an eye-opener, in the time that we've spent already talking about this, and you might have questions in that regard. Do text me on 0904-422-2939. Could call with 0912-222-2939 or 0909-888-9939. So I've also heard some people use food as coping mechanism.
Yes.
You suffered a heartbreak,
That's the
and
binge eating disorder.
yes, binge. So it starts at that point where you just, you're coping with eating.
Yes.
Is that a disorder?
Yes, it is. The reason is because, like I said, it is psychological. It's the mind that is sick. The mind is ill at that point. Okay, let me use myself as example. I've been through that, and what I used was cola nuts.
Wow.
Yeah.
As bitter as cola nut was.
Oh, it wasn't bitter any longer. For me,
Wow.
I would go for the red, go for the, should I call it white, and even the one that is greenish. Anything I saw, I was just eating because when I eat it, it just takes me into some realm. I'm just fine. I don't have to think of someone who made me unhappy. I was just all by myself. And it was okay for me. Yeah. So, yeah, that's the binge eating disorder. And then, like I said, the mind is sick. The moment I sought for help and I was fine, I didn't even remember kola nut again. Because the mind has been healed. So I forgot about the kola nut. So people do the drinking. That's the commonest around.
Yeah.
And of course, I hope you know that drinking can kill as well. Alcohol intoxication can shut down the brain. Yeah. So that's how.
Does drinking fall into the category of eating?
Well, just because they pass through the same route, through
Yeah.
the mouth, so you can still categorize them as feeding on something. So you are either feeding on the liquid or you're feeding on the solid. Yeah. So I remembered someone who, in fact, funny, this was while I was preparing for this program. I read about a 31-year-old guy, 31 or 34, who died. Eventually, he died because of overweight, and he started with bullying. He was being bullied in school, and from there, he got into binge eating, and he wanted to grow big in order to be able to face his...
He was bullied for overweight? Or?
No, he was small stature.
Okay.
So, you see the psychological aspect. He realized that if he eats much, he will grow big. And before he knew it, he ate so much he couldn't control it. I remember somebody saying in the comment section in that clip, somebody was getting those foods for him. That is the person to be blamed. Was he getting the food that he was supposed to do, or to make him seek for medical help? Now, he got so sick that he had to be transported, and 6 firefighters had to carry one man. 6.
Wow.
He was that heavy. 6 firefighters had to carry. I said, well, they didn't get wrestlers to do it. 2 wrestlers will be enough. Because those ones I know they can. I've watched John Cena carry big Triple H. Big Show, and 2 wrestlers. Imagine and the Edge carried on his shoulder. You can imagine that. So, but that's just on the flip side. So, that's it. From trying to fight bullying, he got into binge eating, and he got into obesity, and it killed him.
Wow.
And that's why I started by saying obesity from binge eating. Obesity resulting from binge eating is not common, because food is expensive in Nigeria.
Actually.
Not common. Now try them now. Go and eat fish. Eat 10 fishes, 100 pieces of meat. You can't. But egg, how much is one crate of egg? Go up, try it now. Tell me you want
ridiculous.
to do binge eating with food in Nigeria. They play.
No, but people who have money, I'm sure they do it.
Like I said, that's just 1% of the population.
Actually.
1%. So if it's just happening to them, well, of course, every man is important. But what I'm saying is that it doesn't relate with the common man, with what we see around, compared to the other one, which is the staying away because you want to achieve a particular. That's what any man can wake up and do and say, oh, I have big tummy. And I saw one lady, in fact, I loved her hourglass. And I realized because I used to eat at night, then I'm going to stop eating at night. And then your work keeps you working from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. And you may not even remember to eat something. And then you will now tell yourself, because you want to keep with your promise, you skip night food. So for the whole day, no food. You now appear the next day. Wait, by 1-2 weeks, you find yourself on the hospital bed.
You just exemplified my life in a way, but let's move on. So for anorexia, is it possible that, because I've seen people say they eat, but they don't look like they eat. But in their mind, they have actually eaten. They don't feel. Is it possible that you don't feel hungry?
Some people, yeah, see, all these things are real. They are very real. But my point is, what's the discussion about food, Seth? Why are we discussing about food when even day for a common man to eat?
No, this one now, these categories, there's actually food.
That's what I'm saying. They eat, but their body feels like they don't. Okay, so what do you want to do about it? Eat again now. Like, what I'm just trying to say
And the thing is, they don't even have the appetite to eat. So I have a friend who
Okay.
says she doesn't like going out for like events.
Functions,
Yes,
okay.
because when they serve portions and she's done eating and they say, what did you eat? What did you? So questions like that, like they really get her upset. So she
Is it
rather
that-
not go out for.
Is it that she doesn't eat much?
Yes, she doesn't eat. I think my question is there a quantity to food that you can eat
Thank you
that
very
serves
much.
as, oh, you've eaten?
You just got to me. Really, I don't eat. And everybody knows that. So, but then, probably because I'm a man, I'm very defensive.
Yeah, and this conversation is peculiar amongst women too.
Yes, exactly. That's why I said because I'm a man, I am more defensive. And then they call me names. I learn no matter. I'll tell them thank you. No CSIB. You know my weight, and then you are accusing me for not eating. By the time I start eating, I'm not eating, and I'm above 110 kilos. Let me eat now. Then I'm going like 124, because I was 124 before I realized, and then I ran away from food. Now let's come back to the females. Well, I think at this juncture, you decide what makes you good, not what anybody else says. Like they say, you don't allow people to drive you crazy unless you give them the keys. And so when you decide, if you're the type you don't like food, you don't like it, and that is it. But make up your mind that there is something you have to do, and that is the quantity you eat that makes you fine. Stick with it. I've known my mother for how many years of my life now, and I know she doesn't eat. And she's still, on the big side. My dad, the same quantity of food I used to know him when I was 4 years old is the same quantity of food he eats now. And at least over the past 20 years that I've been observing him while working as a doctor, I noticed he has not changed. His weight has been the same. Okay? His weight has been the same. Even my mom, the weight has been the same. They are both aged now, but their weight has been the same. What did they do? They stuck to their feeding pattern. So this is it. Stick to your feeding pattern that makes you fine, not what anybody feels about it. So I don't like hanging out too, because I will embarrass myself with when they start bringing the sight of the food already. I'm feeling sick. Once the thing starts acting on themselves, and is that for me?
These days, they don't even serve like large quantity of food anymore at events.
But sometimes someone can take you out,
Oh, fair enough.
and then the person is ready to really spend. And then and imagine ordering, bring it, and you're like, bring what? Hey, I don't interrupt. I had to actually call someone to rescue me once from food. Like, just come and create a scene that I need to go and see somebody, take me out of here. And he came and did it successfully, and I escaped from the food.
Something
because
that people are looking for. You're looking for an escape.
I was already feeling sick. The food was too much on the table.
Oh my god.
And the next thing is, doctor, we can pack it for you. I said, pack it. Once I leave this place, I'm sure that I have people that I will give the food to. So what works for you, stick with it. For the females, you don't have to feel bad. My own is, don't starve yourself to achieve a weight. There is always dietary modification that you can do. We have nutritionists. You can talk to the doctors. Anyone that is available, either the nutritional person or the medical doctor, they can talk. Even some nurses are trained in nutrition and all that. Please speak to them. It's like I said, it's not everybody in the hospital that is sick. Some people just came to hold conversation on how to stay healthy. So coming to the hospital doesn't mean you are sick. No, you only want to stay healthier than you are. So don't feel bad about it. Just stick to it. You can be as defensive as you want to be. I'm always defensive when they talk about me and food. They call me names. Everybody. If I mention I've eaten this number of food, you hear people shouting, "Okpeo," and I'm like, what's your problem? Are you me? Am I you? Leave me alone. I don't eat, and that's me. If I eat more than I'm doing now, I'm signing for trouble. Some days I'll even finish eating. To breathe is a problem. I'll be walking around the house. Why? Because I want the food I had to digest before I go to bed. I'll be like, now my force to eat now. Don't worry, next time.
I wish I had this kind of system, because what?
Yes. For me, honestly, a lot of times food eating is always a problem. When I finish eating, I'll be finding it difficult to breathe. On top, say I chop yam, I chop rice. I beg, let the food be. Let me go to bed. When I wake up, I'll think about it. So we are all different. We are all different. And then this is it. If you're eating and you notice you're growing bigger from the food, then reduce it. But if you are eating and you're not growing bigger, you now want to stop eating, you will kill yourself. Oh. Guess what? People who eat well don't fall sick often. Let me say that again. People who eat well don't fall sick often.
Right.
So please take that. If you're eating and your body is not increasing in weight, then now the food, they keep you. So continue. But when you're eating and you notice that from 78, 85, then you know that you have to reduce the food. But when you're eating, you're still 80. Go and come next year, 80. I saw a patient. I checked card over 4 years. Still the same, 80, 81, 80, 81. Doctor, I said, hello, sir. I just allowed. Are you done? You're done. Okay. In 2020, you were weighing. 2021, you were weighing. 2020, you was already like, I said, I thought you saw the same weight over the past 4 years. So at that point, you were like, doctor, thank you. I think I'm happy I came to you. So stop stressing out. Just go and get the proper information about what you need and be fine. So that's how I feel about it.
All right, let's take some questions. Good morning. My name is Timmy. This is my first time listening to the show, and this is quite an interesting conversation. Please say me well to the doctor in the studio. My question is regarding food quantity. Why is it that people who do not eat much get fat, and people who eat little are always slim? Let's take Enyolua on Instagram for it. Oh my God. Let's take Enyolua on Instagram, for instance. The thing that boy consumes on social media and still maintains the same body, if I start eating it, I will be over bloated.
True.
What is the problem?
True, there is no problem. Now, this is it. In fact, this person is just talking about me. Little food and my weight is going up. 1 spoon of rice and I'll eat like that. Imagine, there was a particular Sunday I took 1 spoon of rice. I did 3 times, like 1 spoon, literally 1 spoon. But I think I did it like 3 times. The next day I checked my weight. I added 2 kg. I was like, no, it's a lie. It's a lie. What? Me? Who? Who? I couldn't talk to anybody. In fact, that day my brain shut down. I was so angry with myself. And doctor, have you eaten? Yes. I was lying. It wasn't even the spirit of God. You are lying. You are lying. Stop lying. I can't. And then when I went back to the weighing scale, I had dropped 3 kg. I was like, thank God. And my weighing scale will give you this very accurate scale, not the one that will tell you 80 and tell you 80. No, this one will tell you 80 points. So I watched and I saw that I had dropped even less. I said, then I won't be careful again. I won't do more than what I should. Why? I felt hungry, and I ate, not knowing that my body felt hungry as I was storing. Eat, store, eat,
What's
store.
the cause? Is it metabolism?
It is. Now, for me now, what keeps me active is once I don't eat, I drop weight. Once I eat little quantity like this, I have gotten what I wanted. My body metabolism had changed from when I used to be very, very active. I stopped traveling, I stopped visiting, I stopped a lot of things. So all I just do now is sit down and consult on the seat, and then probably once or twice in a week, I get into the theater, stand for long hours operating, cutting and sewing up with human beings and all that. So not like Other times when I would do that, I would still travel. I would still go here, go there. I was very active, so I was burning. Now, yeah. So when you see somebody who is eating so much and is not adding weight, leave him, let him continue. And that's why he won't near the hospital. Yes, because it is the food that maintains his immune system and helps him to fight any infection that will take him to the hospital. If you're the type that you eat little and you grow fat, then please reduce the food still and stay with it. And then try to exercise. At times, our lack of exercise is actually an issue for us as well.
But for people like that, like Enyolua, it's not a problem at all.
Yeah, it's not a problem. And that he eats well. I'm even happy for him.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm happy for him. The only thing is that I hope if the food is rice, yam, amala, not shawarma,
No,
pizza,
of course, it's normal food. He eats
normal
a-
food. Please,
a lot of
enjoy,
normal
sir. Enjoy yourself, enjoy your life. I tell you, won't near hospital, and I'm happy for you. I beg.
All right, another question here from Timini. He said, good morning. My question is, how do I support someone who doesn't like to eat, even after cooking their best meal?
They don't like to eat. Now, this is one of the medical scientific reason is that while cooking, they perceive the aroma of the food.
And their food.
Yes, it can actually
Must
affect
be
the brain.
nice.
Yes, it will. A lot of women. In fact, that's one of the reasons why I think that's one of the reasons why my mom does not like food. She would have smelled the whole thing and then she would just sit down with us and watch us eat and be like, "You like it? You like it? Ah, mommy, where's your food? Ah, I'll eat." She will end up not eating, because she's the one who did the cooking. So when my elder sister noticed, she started retiring her from the kitchen. So she would chase her away. I remember several times she would tell mommy, "Go to the room." Then you will now see her towards when the food is almost done. Mom will be peeping her. "Are you hungry?" "Yes." "Aha." Serve her, let her eat. And that's when we realized she started eating well. Once you're the one doing the cooking, you would have gotten all the aroma filled up, and then you may not really have the appetite to eat the food. So it happens a lot with women that way. But some women are so structured that as they smell and they chop and they cook and they chop and.
Yeah, so
But that's just a few
That's
out
the
of
way.
many. But please, my own is eat because food, good food, is your best immunity. It is better than any form of immunity medication, whatever tablet, whatever. The best immunity you give yourself is food. FOOD, well prepared. That's your immune system. Thank you.
another question here from Esther says, good morning. My sister's boy, who is 4-year-old, doesn't like eating, and every time she prepares a meal, she always would give him multivitamins to trigger him
Hunger,
to
oh,
yes,
okay,
to trigger him to eat. Is this right?
Well, there's this thing your Bible say, "Ngotobagba lama from waiting the thing take, now you go give him." So if that is what he needs to eat, let him give him. He's
But
still
it's healthy.
4 years. It's okay. And the multivitamin will just stimulate the hunger for him to eat. It's common with babies at times. Mostly actually female children are the ones that have these feeding issues. Boys used to eat, but for him, well, me, I've eaten all the food as a child, though. That's why I'm not eating much now.
Yeah.
So you that you are running from food now, probably by the time he's 10, you will start swallowing every food in the house, maybe. So it's fine. It'll be fine after all.
Let's talk about how we can help people with anorexia. What is the medical solution to it?
Okay, thank you very much. It's just symptomatic management, meaning you just ask questions around them. What led to it? How did it happen? So it is the situation that led to it that you manage, not the poor feeding. If you're able to successfully manage the situation, just like I said, when my situation was managed, I forgot about the cola nuts. In fact, the first time I saw it after a long time, I was like, look at this thing. Like, I literally forgot it existed. I was good. I started eating. I started going because I wasn't eating. I wasn't going for lectures. I wasn't reading. I wasn't doing anything. I was in the university then. Yeah. So when you manage the situation that caused that anorexia nervosa, then they suddenly realize, oh, food, I need to eat. I'm hungry. I need to eat. And that's why psychotherapy is important. Yes, you have to shrink them. You have to talk them out of that situation. And of course, while doing that, you make them feel good about themselves. Yes, one of the best feelings you can have in the world is when somebody makes you feel good about yourself. It tells you are who you are. You're the best of yourself. There's nobody that can be better. And once you have that feeling, you feel good. And once you feel good, your body responds. Then hunger comes in, and then you're like, okay, I want to eat. You actually start with a particular type of food. It could be, okay, I need custard. Can you make custard for me? Okay, let me try something else. Okay, maybe rice. Oh, okay, let's do swallow, and then they are back.
Yeah,
so I think when you manage the causative factor, then appetite slowly comes in, slowly.
Unfortunately, we're not people that believe so much in therapy. I like to think that that is changing with time, but ultimately, therapy is a solution to this.
Yes, that is it. And that's why I said you have to shrink. Of course, it is therapists that will do the shrinking. Okay, so once that is done, they start seeing the whole situation in a different way and they start adjusting.
Fair enough. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Chukwuma Okoli, for such an intensive and quite interesting conversation on eating disorder. I was going to say something selfish, that if you don't want your food, bring it to me. But that's that shouldn't be said. But please try and eat something today. And you know, like you said, that's the best immunity you can give to yourself. All right, that brings us to a close on Solutions Clinic this Monday morning. We'll be back next week, Monday, with another subject in the world of health. My name is Vic Richards. Have yourself a wonderful Monday.